Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Happy first day of May, everybody. It is good to have you with us as we start our streaming broadcast. I'm Erin Hartley.
And I'm Cerise Cole. Jared Lansford, Rusty Lord, Senior Chief, watching the radar as the rain continues to fall. We started this yesterday, and it's just kind of been a wet pattern.
Yep. And a little more on and off here all the way into Friday afternoon is basically what you have to go with as we make our way here towards the end of the week, starting off the month kind of like we ended April with some rain. This was actually rain that formed in April, and it's hanging around here for May 1st. So we got the showers here, Harlan, Atlantic, up towards the Audubon area, east of Oakland. And there's a couple little sprinkles that have held on here near Blair, between Blair and Missouri Valley, right on Highway 30. Otherwise, you go west of the Missouri River, there's not a ton left. So Nebraska side drying out, still have some rain on the Iowa side for about the next hour or so, roughly. And then what we'll have is more opportunities. We heat it up a little bit, get a couple more spotty showers this afternoon, maybe some thunder showers. This little complex here, diving in from Canada, that's the next chance of spotty showers and storms that we have on the way for tomorrow. None of this looks all that strong. The best chance to maybe see some wind gusts from a shower or thunder shower that can get going would be this afternoon, I would think, with anything that can bubble up. Again, very spotty, very random. They'll move in from the northwest, but chances there again after 2 o'clock and could persist on and off through the overnight as well. Again, pretty spotty and random. We're holding on to 58. We have not changed much at all. It's been about 57, 58 degrees ever since we all got into work here, and that's going to be the same for you as you head off to work and school. Very light winds right now, but the northwest wind will pick up a little bit today and could gust to 25 miles per hour. And there might be some higher gusts higher up in the atmosphere, so we get a couple of showers. It may try to rush some 40 mile per hour plus wind gusts from a shower or two. So watch for that. That might startle you a little bit, but I don't expect much more than that. Temperatures in the 50s. But some cooler 50s to the northwest right here. So with that northwest wind, some of that may move in. There's the showers left over on the Iowa side, hanging out in the 50s at 9 o'clock. And then I think we should be able to warm up some into the afternoon. By noon, we're low 60s. And notice by about 2 to 3 o'clock, look at the little specks of showers. And yeah, there could be a couple of thunder showers in there at times this afternoon, briefly moving through from northwest to southeast. So it could give you a downpour and then right back to pretty comfortable conditions. And by 5, even a few peaks of sunlight trying to sneak through. And there you go, even a couple thunder showers left by 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Not much then into the evening, or into the overnight, I should say, until we get to the early morning hours of Friday, where you may wake up, watch daybreak, and we could be doing this all over again with scattered showers around to start the day on Friday, and then keep chances around into the afternoon. By about 5 o'clock or so, those will relax on Friday, and the evening looks pretty good. So no matter what you're doing, I think tomorrow evening looks to be okay as far as shower and thunderstorm chances go. We just got to get through probably the afternoon, where we're going to put some hit and miss showers and a couple rumbles of thunder out there all the way through the afternoon hours on Friday.
Okay. Now for the fun part, though. The fun part is, there we are. Yeah. The fun part is it's going to be just a spectacular weekend, and for good reason, too. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend.
Yeah, you name it, it is happening this weekend. Everybody in town, obviously, for Berkshire. We have the junk stock. There's a tulip festival going on.
I'll say, too, it's also Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Ooh, you're right.
So, well, in spirit, I guess, right?
We got Omaha Farmers Market kicks off this weekend, too, so that puts you in the spring and summer vibes. That great weather is lining up perfectly with the weekend. A little chilly to start. If you're worried about getting planning and gardening done, this is probably the last morning where we could have a couple of 30s on the map. Likely holding near 40 degrees by Saturday morning in the metro, but some outlying areas could dip into the 30s. And beyond that, there's no threat of any frost or freeze, and that may be it looks like, for the season. And look at the weekend. 67 for the high Saturday, 72 on Sunday. Very little wind, plenty of sunshine. And you see 70s next week as well. Next chance of rain would be late on Tuesday, probably in the evening and overnight, long after you've had most of the day to enjoy it. And then some rain chances Wednesday and Thursday. But this is the key. The muggy meter stays low. for the next week into the middle of next week. So we don't have any humidity to go with the beautiful weather.
Yeah.
Dare I say it, we get some spring in spring instead of just jumping right
That'd
to
be
summer.
nice
I know.
for once.
You're not going to whisper it this time?
No, yeah.
Okay, I kinda
figure
liked it.
it's kind of cool enough. that most people care about it. So
Very nice. We're liking that forecast. We're liking the commute better now. Things have calmed down a bit.
Yeah, we're seeing some improvement. A couple hours ago, we were seeing all kinds of crashes.
What's going on?
With some of those showers that were rolling through. We do still have one that's still in place,
Okay.
so let's check in on that. This is I-80. Well, it's the interchange with 480 and I-80. It says you're making your way southbound on 480 to go down to the JFK, and it's on the left shoulder. I do expect this clears up here shortly. We've already had a tow truck that has worked part of the scene here, so as you're heading through there, just make sure you're aware that there could be some minor delays as people get to that curve and see that vehicle there on the shoulder. You're kind of seeing that in action right now. We go a little further to the south, the JFK we just mentioned, some delays as you're going northbound to head to westbound I-80, so be prepared for that. That's not related to any kind of crashes. And then other delays that I'm seeing around the metro. Some slowdowns right around 78th and Pacific that have been pretty consistent here over the last 20 minutes or so. Watch that intersection. Maybe there's a signal issue that may be happening at this point. And then we're also seeing, of course, the construction zone as you're going on I-80. Real big delays starting to show up there westbound as you're getting right around Q. Eastbound, not too much just yet, but getting the first signs of getting some of that just past 144th. Speaking of 144th, really slow as you're trying to get to I-80 there as you're going southbound. So we're getting some of the crashes winding down and getting more of just the everyday kind of delays that are really starting to ramp up at this point.
Yeah. All right. We know you're on top of it, so keep us informed, Jarrett. Thank you. So news now happening today. A Council Bluffs man accused of murder will learn his fate. Justin Sickler was arrested last October in connection to the death of Breon McIntosh, where her body was found that previous February. Sickler was charged with several crimes, including first-degree murder. Today's sentencing is set to begin at 10:30 this morning. Now to that tragic story on the Missouri River as it reaches its conclusion.
Authorities sadly confirming 2 bodies pulled from the river earlier this week do belong to the last of the 2 girls who went missing. 18-year-old LaTre Moo and Liana Green and 11-year-old Ekri Moo have now all been accounted for. Loved ones say they are sad, but they are relieved that they do have now some closure.
Well, 2 bills addressing Nebraska's budget shortfall passed the final round of voting. They now head to Governor Jim Pillen's desk. LB 645 adjusts the state's contribution to teacher pension plans, and LB 650 aims to roll back incentives for things like food donations, film and TV productions, along with biodiesel. The bills are estimated to generate around $133 million over the next few years.
All right, over to Maria Cade at the safety desk. Maria, the CDC says that whooping cough cases have doubled nationwide compared to last year. That is staggering.
It's a really big issue, and of course we're seeing that impact right here in Omaha as well. Experts say the most at-risk group is actually babies under 2 months old, though. You know, their immune system's very, very weak. And that's why doctors are pushing people who are expecting to get vaccinated while they're pregnant. They say it can help the newborns with their antibodies, develop those. So according to the CDC, vaccination rates have gone down. One doctor says vaccinating, getting the booster, and reporting if you've been exposed, those are all the best ways to stop the spread.
In addition to getting yourself the vaccine, this becomes a community issue because we need to all be vaccinated to help decrease the spread.
Now, the doctor says in 2023 in Iowa, there were 52 reported cases, but last year that number for the entire state jumped to over 350 cases. So quite a big increase there. But again, here in Douglas County, we saw that impact right here. Numbers from the end of last year showed that just in the county, there were 127 cases. So you got to think in the whole state, the number went up pretty much too.
As you said before, very serious for little babies. Okay, in the meantime, unfortunately, not much better health news. New data is showing the American healthcare system is getting worse at caring for pregnant women and new moms. This is really very
I
staggering.
know another thing that is absolutely terrible to hear. The maternal mortality rate for last year rose to 19 deaths for every 100,000 people who are pregnant. Of course, we want that number to be 0. That is up from 18.6 in 2023. The data is coming in from the CDC. Maternal mortality is defined as women who die either while they're pregnant or within 42 days of a pregnancy ending. Now, that mortality rate spiked during the COVID-19 pandemic. They say a quarter of the maternal deaths were blamed on the virus, but maternal mortality in the U.S. is one of the highest among wealthy nations all around the world. Doctors also say it varies a lot between different races and ethnicities. They say Hispanic women have the lowest mortality rate. It's at 13.1 per 100,000 births. White women are a little bit higher, 15.2. Asian women a little bit higher than that, 17.7. But when you look at black women, this is by far the worst rate. They are at 47.5.
Wow.
It is just terrible to hear.
Almost half. Yes. That is horrific. Okay, Maria, thank you, though. In the meantime, back here after this.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Thursday, so you know what that means. We are already looking ahead to the weekend, and it sure looks good.
Lining up some great weather with a lot of outdoor activities, a lot of people looking for things to do, and there's plenty to do this weekend. And First Alert forecast shows we do have rain chances now all the way through Friday afternoon, but by Friday evening, maybe a little chilly as we come down from our high of 60, but then Saturday looks good, Sunday looks good, highs in the 60s and 70s, and sunshine with light wind. A lot to look forward to. So here's what we got going. We have this batch of showers right here. That has been moving east and out. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another little wave of some showers dropping in from the northwest and trying to develop a couple spotty thunder showers later on this afternoon. And then this up here is the next system that comes in, making our way in for Friday. So what we'll watch here is just this kind of conveyor belt of systems to move in over the course of the next 48 hours. And what it'll do is try to bring us a few more rain chances before we get to the weekend. Pretty steady rain, Atlantic, Harlan, but over the course of the next hour, that is moving east and out, and the majority of the area is going to dry out. Got a northwest wind here gusting to 25 miles per hour in Norfolk. And we could have a couple of those gusts later on today. Don't be surprised if you get some gusts at 20 to 25 this afternoon. And then if a couple of thunder showers pop up this afternoon, which I fully expect to see a few on the radar, they could rush out a little more wind, maybe some 40-plus mile per hour gusts that stay below severe limits but are noteworthy while you're out and about. So we have 50s on the map right now, but some cooler 50s to the west. And I think we could dip in the next hour or two down into the mid-50s before we start our climb. There's the showers moving east by 9. By noon, you can see temperatures in the 60s with some sun trying to peek through. And watch what happens. A couple little thunder showers pop up. Just enough heat up into the 60s that we can bubble up a few. They'll move northwest to southeast, could bring a brief downpour every once in a while to the area as they move from northwest to southeast through. And what it'll likely do is try to bring a little sunshine behind it. So it could be in and out of the sun, have a couple of those all the way through sunset. By 10 o'clock, you can see things quiet down. And then the next batch of showers moves in heading towards Friday morning. And we set the stage, like I mentioned, we do this all over again. Some scattered showers to start Friday. Some linger into the afternoon. There's about 8 o'clock Friday morning through 5 o'clock in the afternoon where we have some chances of rain. It's not going to be all day rain, but just can't guarantee that it's going to be dry at any one point. And you add all this up, and these little dark green stripes here where a couple of thunder showers may go through, that's what models are telling us. If you catch one, it'll be a ½ inch of rain. Otherwise, the rest of us stay probably less than 1/4 of an inch. So it's the tough message with spotty thunder showers. Some get rain, some don't. And in some cases, if you get rain, you may not get very much. That's just the way it goes with that. So that's through 5 p.m. on Friday, 67 Saturday, 72 on Sunday, sunshine, light wind. A gorgeous weekend on the way. Rattle off the list of things going on this weekend. And there is a ton to do outside, and I imagine everybody is going to be out doing just that.
I know, gotta get outside. Now, not this weekend, but next weekend. It's Mother's Day, so get your gifts prepared. For people planting or looking to plant, maybe also get some flowers. How is that looking to shape up with the forecast?
I mean, if you want to beat the rush, you could probably do it this weekend, the way things are looking. The last even hint of getting close to 30 degree into the 30s is Saturday morning this coming weekend, where we dip down to 41 in the metro. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some 30s in some of the rural areas around, but that would be the last threat of that. It does look like a lot of enjoyable weather after that with mild mornings, warm afternoons, no threat of any rain until late Thursday. I think we're probably done with any frost mention, and we keep the mild and dry air in place. The muggy meter's low all the way into next week, and as you make your way into the middle part of May, you got warmer than average weather likely to win out. So if you're worried about frost or anything like that, if you've been holding off, I think you're probably in good shape.
Good. Well, you were telling us to hold off, which is why we're holding off.
Like, you never know. You get one little cold snap. It wouldn't take much to make Saturday morning a little colder. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
We've been waiting on your blessing.
Plant some flowers.
The Lord has blessed us.
The Lord has blessed us. All right, let's get to traffic now. It's wet. It's foggy out. How is that impacting our morning commute?
We've had some issues earlier. Since we're seeing that rain get a little bit lessened, we're improving some. I don't want you to completely let your guard down. There's still going to be some damp roads out there, so a little extra caution is not a bad idea. And turn those headlights on if you're going to be especially driving into some of those more rural areas. We do have some lower visibility that is in place, so it's going to be something you want to do with some of those areas of fog. You can kind of see some of the low cloud cover and fog that's in place from our view of Epley at this point. One crash that's still in place. This is at the interchange as you're going from southbound 480 to go to the JFK. It's on the left shoulder. It's out of traffic, but you do want to watch for that as you're heading through that area at this point. Let's check in on the visibility though, and you are seeing some pockets where that is a little bit lower than others. As you get near Bennington, Arlington, you've got some pockets of visibility down around a mile or less, and it's been a little low near Fremont as well. Council Bluffs near the airport showing some signs of struggling a little bit with the visibility. Some of our spots that have had that dip below a mile have improved a little bit at this point. Denison, Clarinda, you're looking at things a little bit better, but again, watch for some of those areas where it may be lower than you'd like as you head out the door. A lot of our delays are tied to construction though. Aside from that, we've got a 144 southbound struggling a fair bit, and then that construction zone on I-80. A little slow here on 480 as you're going to stretch over, go over the bridge to go to Omaha at this point, westbound. That's where we're also seeing some delays in place, but starting to look a little bit more like a normal morning commute with where we're seeing some of our delays show up. That's encouraging after how busy things started this morning.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Jared, thank you. Well, happening today, Governor Jim Pillen is set to announce the new leadership for the Nebraska State Patrol. Colonel John Bulldog's last day is May 4th. That's this Sunday when he reaches the NSP's mandatory retirement age of 60. Now, he's been superintendent since 2016. 2017. The announcement begins at 1 o'clock this afternoon in Lincoln.
Well, a rare sighting that will have you seeing double.
Okay, the creature you'll have to see to believe when First Alert 6 streaming returns. Welcome back, everybody. For some, this next story is the definition of double trouble.
Oh, you're going to hate this if you
Or
are
love it.
afraid. Maybe. Depends on what you like. Okay, I'll be fair. We're talking about a two-headed snake at a pet store in Northern California. I looked it up. It's actually at a Berkeley pet store. See? I was talking about this.
No.
This
Maybe
is
you were
one
right.
in 100,000 occurrences, and the same thing as a conjoined twin, one embryo that partially split into two. This duo are named Zeke and Angel. Two-headed snakes usually go to about 4 feet long. They can live around 20 to 30 years. All right, so Maria, your fear can pass after 30 years.
good.
Workers say the heads can both control the body, but often fight over which way they're going. You can kind of see it probably right there. They're like, look, they're like,
this way. No, I'm going this way.
that is fascinating.
I was wondering how eating works, because normally they just kill and then eat.
So I know that sometimes conjoined, the cases here in the U.S. of conjoined twins, they usually share like a stomach and things like that, but it will have like two hearts, and so I don't know. But that's going to go fast. Someone is going to want that snake quickly.
They can have them.
That's all
Well, we sure hope we brighten your day, folks. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get ready for our update in today's show. Of course, you can watch it here on streaming or over the air.
Have a great start to your Thursday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Thursday morning to you. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
I'm Erin Hartley. Let's get an update on traffic this morning with Jarrett Lansford.
It was a busy start to our Thursday commute with a lot of crashes. Only one that's left. This is as you're going southbound on 480 to go to the JFK. It's on the left shoulder, the vehicle there. You can see some of the delays in the lead up to that. So you want to be prepared for that. People may be checking up as you're heading to go to the southbound JFK. Again, that's out of the lanes of traffic. Some delays as you're going northbound on the JFK to try to go to I-80. That not related to that crash. We zoom things out. A lot of construction delays. 480 over the Missouri River, as well as 144th near I-80 and I-80 between Q and 144th.
And the steadiest rain has moved off towards the east as of now. It's still some on the Iowa side for our viewers around Audubon and Atlantic, but that is moving east here pretty quickly, and the clouds may even break up a little bit today, but we're not going to see much in the way of sunshine. There's the rain. Harlan, Audubon, Atlantic, east of Red Oak almost now, and still a little bit around Oakland. So that round is moving out, but after about 2 o'clock, could see some spotty thunder showers pop up with the heat of the day. Those would move northwest to southeast through the area. Could have a rumble of thunder, a little lightning, maybe a little wind with those, but watch out for some downpours due to that. So again, really tough to guarantee any dry time after 2 o'clock, but I think any rain should be pretty short-lived if you see some. 67 degrees for the high today. A few more thunder showers possible tomorrow, and then a great weekend on the way. 67 and 72 respectively this weekend. Aaron?
Happening today, a Council Bluffs man accused of murder will learn his fate. Justin Sickler was arrested last October in connection to the death of Brianne McIntosh. He was charged with several crimes, including first-degree murder.
It is 7:28. We are back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.